Okay, recording for Hanabi. This is not a real-time game. This is a game that I've already played and thought it was an exceptionally good game, so we're going to go over it. Now, Q Gamer gets to go first. Coolant easily has a 1 that can be triggered, either with a color like white or red that he doesn't have anything of, so that way he'll want to play it. Or he could clue stuff in my hand if I have a better hand. Let's see what he does. Okay, he gave him a white clue like I thought he might. So now, Coolant has the ability to play that white, well, that multicolor one, the thing he thinks is a white one right now. He knows it's playable. Or he can clue Q Gamer on his ones, or give me a clue on my ones. Now, if he wants to give me a clue, it needs to be not a multi and not a white one. Alright, he gave me a clue green. That looks great. I can clue Q Gamer if I want to, or I can just go ahead and put down some cards. It's really a toss-up whether I want to put down a 1, but Q Gamer would have to give a clue, and he'd basically be throwing a 5 at Coolant right now. I don't know if I want him to do that. Let's go ahead and give him a clue. Oh! That's what I did. I didn't give Q Gamer the clue for his 1. I gave Coolant the clue. Now, this was a really good clue. This is called a finesse. I just gave Coolant that clue, showing him that the 2 is playable. It's not playable. We don't have the 1. We have to play all of these colors from 1 to 5 in order. But Q Gamer knows that I just flagged a 2 as being playable. And he knows that the only reason I would do that is if he has a 1. So he's going to blindly play his 1 on the left. Whenever you're forced to play a card, you first play a card that makes sense, like a 3 needs to be played, he's clued a 4, and you have a 3 marked in your hand. Or I clued blue, you already have a blue marked somewhere in your hand, you would assume that's the one I'm talking about. If it doesn't apply to anything that's already clued, it's the leftmost, which is your newest card. Anything that's been in your hand for a while that hasn't been played will have shifted to the right, and that's your chopping block where you're going to discard from. Now, right now on my chopping block, it's actually my 4th card, not my 5th, because I know something about the 5th. I don't want to get rid of that. Okay. And then Q Gamer plays the 1 because he was forced to right now, which is awesome. Now, Coolant could have played his 2 or his 1. He knows both of them are playable, but he gave me a clue of red. Now look at Q Gamer's left card he just drew. It's a red 1. There would be absolutely no reason to clue me on a 1 when there's already a 1 right there on the left. So mine is actually a 2. I'm going to play something else instead. So I play my 1 that was clued earlier. Now Q Gamer plays his 1 that he was finessed into doing. And now Coolant can do whatever he wants. Oh, well that's interesting. That was a really good clue. 1, it told me that my green 2 is playable. It marked another 2. It may or may not be blue. I'm not going to make that assumption. But you'll notice my red didn't light up as being a 2. That means I don't actually have the 2. I have the red 3. Look at Q Gamer's next card. He had a 1 and a 2 just a second ago on his left in the right order. So Coolant had marked my red 3, forcing Q Gamer to play once and a second time. But he had to warn me, or I would have assumed that we both had 2s and it was just a coincidence. And now I'm going to play something else that's playable, and Q Gamer can get that red 2 down. Very nice. Alright. Coolant can do whatever he wants now. He's marking the yellows, which includes the 1, so that's good. I know I have a red 3, so I'm probably playing that. Yep, I am. And then he's going to play his 1 that was just marked. Coolant can keep cluing or finally play the 1 and 2 that have been marked in his hand for a while. Oh, check that out. He just marked a green 4, which he marked as playable, but the green 3 is not down, which means I'm holding it. Well, that could have been my left card, but I already know one of my cards is green, so the green card in my hand must be the green 3, or that was a terrible finesse. I play the green 3. Q Gamer has the 3 and the 4, or I guess the 3 is not playable yet. The 4 that's playable we just marked. and still giving clues. Now he marked those as 3s, and the red 3 doesn't matter. That was an accidental, you have to mark everything when you give a clue that could apply. So he was marking the yellow 3. The only reason to do that is if I have the yellow 2. He already knew that the card was yellow. He wasn't going to discard it. It wasn't like it was in danger. So I can go ahead and play my 2. Boom, got it. Now, that could have actually been a... I mean, it could have been a... What do you call that? I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. It's possible to do something tricky like that, where he was actually bluffing me to put down a blue 2 instead. But if he wanted me to put down a blue 2 and I had a 2 marked in my hand, he would have discarded his blue 2. He absolutely knows from the earlier finesse he's holding the blue 2. If he discards something, he knows absolutely what it is. It means someone else already has the exact same card marked in their hand, and my 2 would have been the only one that applied. So I knew it was actually yellow in this case. What's game we're going to do? He's going to play the 3. Coolin's going to play the 1. There are no clue tokens left, so I can discard a card or play something blindly. I'm probably going to discard a card. There we go. Okay, now this is the first card we've discarded, this multi-4, and it's important to know there are only 2 of all the numbers between 2 and 5s. So 2, 3, 4, there are only 2 of them. There's only 1 5 in the deck, but there are 3 1s to make up for it, because you need to get started. But there's only 1 5 to finish each color. Alright, I gave him a clue token to work with. Let's see what he does. He gives me a red clue. It's probably not a finesse, because there's nothing that could possibly be flourished out of Coolin's hand. He just discards. Even though that was a completely playable card, that's fine. We can come back to that later. I put down the red 4, and now I know another red card. Okay, Q just marked that as being a 5. I think he already knew it was multi. He did know it was multi. I don't know if that was an important clue or not. Well, he got that blue 2 down from way before. I'm going to discard something. Now we have a lot of 4s popping up as dangerous cards. We don't want to discard more 4s. That white 2 could have been needed. If that other white 2 shows up too late in the deck, this could be a problem for us. But you can't play everything every time. You need to be able to give clues. Alright, he's marking that as a 2, which is a playable multi. And I'm going to get rid of a card for more clue tokens. Oh, I thought he was going to play a 2, but instead he marked the whites. Well, I have a 1 I can get rid of on the left there easily. Put down that white 1. Coolant warns him about the 5, which was a great clue. It was in the spot that was oldest, he knew the least about, so he was about to discard that 5 on his turn, potentially. And I play the 1. Q plays the 2, and now Coolant is forced to discard. And he's going to discard the 4, which we don't need, we've already played. Picked up a green 1, that's not helpful. But I'm going to let him know about these blues down there, so he can get that 3 on the table. Q Gamer is probably going to get rid of this red 4, which is good. Oh no, why did he fail to play a 3? Oh, there was potential for it to be a multi-3 and to be getting our way towards the 4. He knows I have a white 3 because he can see it. In fact, both of mine might be white 3s. So he basically knew it was probably playable or a waste. It's not a big deal to take 1 bomb, you just don't want to take 3. I probably wouldn't have done it in his position, but it wasn't the worst call. Now he puts down the blue 3, back to my turn. I am going to get rid of a card and let him give a clue. And now he's marked the other card as multi, and he's marked the 3 as being playable. He probably thinks it's the red 5 unless I'm holding it, but he's going to play it regardless because he was told to. Get rid of a card because I don't know enough about my hand to play yet. All right, I like that. So you see Q Gamer just gave Coolant a white clue saying this is playable, but I have white cards marked in my hand. I know that that 4 is not playable, and Coolant knows what white cards are in my hand. My hand must be the white 2 and the white 3 in the correct order. Otherwise, that 4 was a really bad clue. Coolant doesn't have any clue tokens to work with. He's going to be playing or discarding right now. Probably playing that multi. Nope, he's discarding, which is fine. Now I get to play my 2. He gets to tell him about the 4s. Oh, it's possible I don't have the right 3, actually, just for the record. When he clued this white 4, maybe he had tried to convince Coolant he had the white 3, and that triggered me to know that I had the white 2, but maybe I don't actually have the 3. And he needed to warn him, hey, don't play your white 3, it's actually not a white 3, it's a white 4. We were just tricking Turtler. But nope, I actually do have the right color, the right card. Good, everyone was on the right page there. I now know I have the blue 4 in my leftmost, so I'm going to play that probably. Yep, that's what I did. He's probably just going to discard because he has no clues. And I'm pretty sure the multi-4 is going down unless he needs to give a clue. Hey! Blue 5. Now when you play a 5 and finish off a color, you get a clue token back as a bonus. So there's no reason for me to discard my dead red. I know my red is not a 5, and I know it's not a multi that's needed. Well, I also know it's not a multi because the blue's already been given. And yeah, I can just get the clue token by playing rather than by discarding, which is way better. Because then if I draw a useful card like that yellow 4 I just got, I can play it. I play the yellow 4. Now, Q Gamer has a 5 in his hand. Every single 5 in the game is playable, so he's not necessarily sure if he's got the red, the yellow, or the green, or I guess the white. Actually, I have a lot of 5s still unaccounted for, or they're in my hand, but he knows it's playable, so he's going to drop it. Coolant has the multi-5 to drop. Oh, he's going to warn me first, that way we can get stuff playing. So I only have 1, but I can play it right now. I must not have drawn another. Oh, there's another. Coolant can play though, because I don't have a 5 right now where I'd have been told, and I can tell Q Gamer that he's got a 5. Then he can play it, and Coolant can warn either of us if we just drew the right 5. Well, there's only a white 5 left. Haven't drawn it yet, so I'll discard. Maybe I've drawn it now and Gamer will tell me. Nope, he discarded. Oh, there's the white 5. Very last card in the deck, which is fine. Everyone gets 1 rotation after the game ends, including the player who just drew, so that he'll get 1 more chance to play. So now we just... Oh, okay. I guess he doesn't want to clue him the 5. It doesn't matter. I'll clue him the 5. He didn't even need it. He knows it's there. Then he plays it, and we win the game with a perfect 30 out of 30 on the very hard multicolor difficulty. That is a Hanabi game with some finesse, some reverse, no bluff. I talked about bluff a little bit. Bluff is the one where you give them a clue to force the other player to play. So I clue blue, and I clued it on a 2, and the player that goes before that player plays his blue 1 on the left. That's a finesse. If instead I clue the blue 2 and force the player before him to play, and he plays a green 1, he's like, ooh, I thought that was going to be a blue 1. Well, the other player knows he doesn't have the green, because it's definitely blue, and just doesn't play. That's a little bit about Hanabi. I hope it helped.